Emmanuel. So Emmanuel, you were telling me that, but now you were in Ghana, and I know Ghana had like the year return and things of that kind of nature a few years back, and you were telling me that like here in this country, they're looking to put together a year return for Africans in the diaspora. Yeah, so like how is that going out here?
So this is it's actually an initiative from business groups like myself and my other colleagues.
Okay.
Who are into construction. This is because personally I've chanced on a lot of African Americans that land here, and I meet them based for one reason, that they need to find a home to buy, or find a piece of land to buy and build their home, right? And they express issues of not being totally embedded in a community. Sometimes they speak very fast. People don't get to understand what they mean. So it would be nice if we can get one area, like a big parcel of land where we can have structures meant for this kind of people, so that because some of them just don't want to build houses. Some want to open like coffee shops, right? But even that, if they open, their kind of clientele they're going to get, it will take time before they blend in.
Yeah.
There's language barrier, there's all these cultural differences. So we came up with the idea of setting up an African American community, where on our part we're going to locate land, where we'll make sure the land is affordable, and then also help them build, with a minimum budget. And then move on to also help them set up their businesses here. Right? So you can live in Rwanda and then have like a small business supporting you here. So we have one in Ruzizi. We spoke to the mayor of Ruzizi, and they are welcoming investment. So it's something that they need, because that is also going to open up the community. Right? And then we have one in Bugesera. In Bugesera, we have about 30,000 square meter land that we've already acquired. And we are working on the design. So we have about 155 people who have subscribed to our program now. We're dealing with some guys in Ghana who knows most of these African Americans, and know also people from the Caribbean as well. So we've been doing that. I met one African American who actually bought a house here in Rwanda, and he had his parents here at that time, so he sent the parents to go and see the house, and they were okay. The parents were okay. So what the guy did, he sent 50% of the money to the house, the seller, right? And then when he came in, he saw the house was not something he would opt for. The build quality was poor. The system, everything was disorganized, right? So we had to do an inventory to get the real value of the house, and then we realized it's been like 30% overpriced. So it happened that he said he doesn't want the house anymore. So what's the way forward? The seller had to refund his deposit. Now the seller told him he needs to wait until he finds a buyer. So it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. With any budget you have, you can have a home. Right. And for example, you don't need to just start a house and finish at the same time. It's a gradual process, unless maybe you're under some sort of pressure where you need a place to stay. But even that, we will not recommend that you instantly go in to build a house quick. You need to take your time, go through the stages and all that. So we want to have this program here to help the African American, the Caribbean, people in the diaspora as well. Because you find someone comes in with like 100,000 USD, and he's not getting value for that money with the kind of house he's going to purchase here. The build quality is poor. Mostly when we go to houses to install TVs on the wall, we go with drilling machines. Now we find that we can actually use our bare hand and a screwdriver to, go through the wall. So the build quality is poor, right? And you're not getting value for the money. So with the concept we're doing, we can have houses ranging from as low as 30,000 USD to a flagship one to about 150, 200,000, depending on what you want to have in the house, right? So I think it's a program that is going to help, and we are now dealing with the compliance issue. We want to also let the government understand the benefit of this because it goes beyond the country, right? It's going to create a lot of jobs on the construction part, and some of these guys coming in are also going to set up businesses, which will end up employing a lot of people here. So that's what we're trying to do.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you see a lot of like Black Americans here and people from the Caribbean here already?
Oh yes. Personally, I've met a lot.
Yeah.
I think I interact with say minimum 2-3 people a day.
Yeah.
I get a lot of inquiries. Some go through our website. Yesterday, I had one who wanted to invest in Uganda, build her home and all that, and she saw what we were doing because I normally post on Facebook.
Okay.
And she wanted to divert it to this place. So we're actually now looking for a land. She wants a land in Chibagabaga areas. So I interact with almost like 2 or 3 people every day.
That's something.
Yeah.
And I know Ghana had the year return a few years ago, like with the Africans in the diaspora going to Ghana. Did it like boost the economy?
Absolutely. I mean, there was one time I went to Ghana myself. You know, sometimes seeing and hearing stuff on the news is not as you being there yourself, right? So I went to Ghana and I was really amazed. The thing is, you will not find these people in the capital city, and that's something that really I find very fascinating. They are outskirts, you know, they've been to the remote areas, and that's where they are investing. So they are really empowering the locals there, you know, and they are building life. It's really helped with the Ghanaian economy, I would say.
Okay.
I've seen majority of them majored into farming, and some of them now are doing commercial farming with export attached to it. So you know they export the product. Once they harvest, they export them because most of them also have connections, right? So they are using that. Real estate has really boomed in Ghana. It's really helped with the economy, and the what I take from it is the knowledge, you know, that they impact on the people.
Okay.
Right. So what they bring is not only the money, you know, they also bring the skills and the knowledge that they've acquired there. Right. So they are able to blend that and it's really impacting the young generation.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And I know like the countries here in East Africa, they really didn't have like a real big kind of year return over here or just anything for like the Africans in the diaspora. But if they do have that, do you believe that that could help the economies over here in East Africa?
Definitely. You know, the East African community system, with a little business experience I have in Rwanda here, I'm able to drive from Rwanda to Uganda to Kenya, right, with my Rwandan car. You understand? So I think the network is there, right? But what these countries need to do is to tap into that network to build businesses, you know, and that's why my emphasis here is that we don't. Most of the investors come to Rwanda, and then when they don't find what they are looking for, the neighboring countries are right there, so they go into the neighboring countries. So that's why my emphasis is us here in Rwanda, making sure that these investors stay.
Okay.
Right? They stay, build their businesses here or build their hubs here, and then go through the other countries, you know, as opening branches or extending their businesses. But we should have the first benefit here. So I think it's the way I see it, it's something that have to be done by the private sector.
Okay.
It has to be a group of guys who have sat down to, you know, analyze the benefit of having these people here. Like I said, they come with a lot of knowledge, you know, because exposure is what really builds people. If you sit at your house, you might think you're the champion, but the moment you move, you find, oh, this and this is out there. So exposure is really good, you know, and enlightenment. So I think it's the opportunity is here in Rwanda. Now, what we need to do is to tap into it. And another thing that I've also figured out is we don't also have to wait for the government to do everything. right? And that, unfortunately, that's what most young entrepreneurs here are doing. Everybody is trying to rely on the government, you know. But I think that if we can come together, build ourselves, and then create the avenue ourselves, then, you know, it will also be a sign for the government to know that, oh, this and these options are there, right? I mean, I'm here because of the Rwandan government. Why? Because I saw the vision. And then when I came here and made friends with my colleagues who are also in the same industry, they don't see the vision. You know, so I'm like, I'm here because, you know, there's this infrastructure where I can actually tap into and do a lot of business. So why are you not taking advantage of that? You say, no, because you're a foreigner. You know, so I think there's a big opportunity for especially the African American community, because that's a large community. And these are people who have lived in the States, and, you know, they've become so frustrated. They need where they can have their freedom, where they can have the opportunity to express themselves. They need to be in a place where they are welcomed, you know, for who they are. And I think we have that opportunity here. You see, so we, with our welcoming attitude and the enabling environment created, if you look at what the government has put in place, any foreigner can come in and buy a plot of land. In Tanzania, it's not easy for a foreigner to own a land in Tanzania. Even businesses wasn't easy, you know. So here you can register your business, you can set up your business without any issues, right? So what it's really, the downside is, after you've registered your business, what next? You know, because now you're going to blend with the local community here. Now, if they don't understand your system, then the whole thing doesn't really make sense, right? So I think we need to tune our mind and also have some sort of education as to the benefit of having the African Americans, the Caribbeans, or people of different tribes here, you know, so that we can all help to build a country. Because the more we get these businesses up, the more the country's GDP is going to be in a better place. And then, you know, development, as we see, because already road is good. In Rwanda, we have very good road system. So in terms of infrastructure, the government is doing what they can. But now it's about the human capacity, you know, building that capacity for the people to be able to, you know, enrich themselves with businesses. So I think we need them here.
Cool, man. So if people want to get in contact with you, like, how do they get in contact with you?
So I've got a website that mostly I meet a lot of people. I also can give my number out there. If anybody wants to get into contact with us, we are available to help them. And, you know, if they are looking for the right channel to talk to, I think now we are in a position where we've also learned a lot here based on our own experiences. So we'll be able to guide people on, you know, the right channels. You know, in every country, there's the good and the bad, right? So we all need to be careful, especially when you're getting into the country for the first time. You really need to be careful, because at that first impression, you might succeed or you might fail. So you need to meet the right people.
Cool. Nice. And what's your Facebook?
It's CCTV Group. So it's CCTV IEW Group. Yeah, that's the Facebook name.
And your website?
It's www.cctvgroup.com.
Nice. Yeah, man. And you a very knowledgeable brother. You've been here for a while. And I would say, you know, everybody, especially if you want a smart house or a sustainable house or just information, definitely hit up Emmanuel. And I appreciate you for showing me around and giving me this time.
Thank you for the time. I really appreciate it.